Assalamu alaikum. We've got a nice big audience today, haven't we?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you, Alex? Are you abroad?
Alhamdulillah. Yes, I'm still in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, wow. It's good we're getting you in from
Yeah.
there. That's so special, that is, to get you from there. And it shows just how dedicated you are.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Wa alaikum salam.
Right. Okay. Did you want to start then, Fasila?
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for coming. Ustadah Sidra Naeem is an alima qualified from Al Huda International. She has studied the 99 names of Allah in detail. In this second half of the series, she will be focusing on the meanings, explanations, and ways of implementing Allah's attributes into our lives. The session will conclude with interactive questions and answers. Today, we will be continuing and focusing on one or more of Allah's name, As-Samad and Al-Qadir. Over to you, Sidra, and thank you for taking the time to do this. Alhamdulillah.
That's okay. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. It's absolutely amazing that we've even got one sister here from abroad, and that just shows just how much dedication there is for this. So I'm very, very pleased about that. Now, today we are going to do one name of Allah. The reason is that some names come in pairs, some names come in triples, and this name is part of a triple, okay? And we did the pair last time. And then the next time will be a pair. And this is how it's happening. And it's all to do with the root words. And it's easier that way. So today's name we're doing on its own because it's linked with the last two names that we did. Now, last time we covered Al-Ahad, the unique, the only one. Okay. And that is basically Allah. Okay. And we also spoke about an ayah, which is extremely important. It's actually 1/3 of the Quran. Can anybody remember that surah?
Surah Ikhlas.
That's right. So Al-Ahad is actually mentioned in that surah. Okay, so let's play it.
قل هو الله أحد.
Okay. And who can tell me what the next sentence is in that surah? It's Qul huwallahu ahad. Then
Allahu Samad.
That's right, Allahu Samad. So the next name is linked with Al-Ahad, okay? And it's really important to try and understand this, okay? So Al-Ahad is basically Allah, the unique, the only one. And what happens if we do not worship that one Allah? What happens to us?
We were born in the hellfire.
Okay, not just that, but how will our life be here?
I don't know, I'm not sure.
Okay, so there's two very, very famous ayahs in the Quran. One is, if you do not worship Allah, you will lead a blank life. Does anybody know what that is? Fill in the blanks, everybody. You will lead a blank life, depressed life. Okay, and the next one is, truly in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find blank.
Light?
No, rest or satisfaction.
Okay.
Two very, very famous ayahs in the Quran which are mentioned, okay? So if we do not worship that one true Allah, we don't find satisfaction, okay? So this is what As-Samad is, Allahu Samad. So let's look at that first. So As-Samad is the one who is eternal. He is unaffected and unchanged. It means the satisfier of needs. If we don't worship Allah, our needs are not going to be satisfied, are they? Because He's the giver of everything, okay? He is the one who can satisfy each need in a way He knows is best, while He is without any needs. He is the one upon who all of the creation depends, while He depends on no one, okay? And this is how it's linked with Ahad. So let's listen to the second part of that ayah.
الله الصمد.
Allahu Samad. Okay? Now, why are we not satisfied without worshipping Allah, remembering Him? What happened when we were made? Now, we've got to understand this to understand the name. When we were made, on the day Adam alayhis salam was made, what did we do in front of Allah?
We prostrated.
And we took a what?
An oath.
An oath or a covenant or a promise. What did we promise Allah on that day when we bowed down to Him?
To worship Him and Him alone.
Brilliant. To worship Him and Him alone. So if we don't do that, are we going to feel guilty in this dunya, in this world?
Yes.
Yes. When you promise even a human being and we don't fulfill the promise, do we not feel guilty?
Yes.
Okay. And this is why. This is the whole reason why if we don't remember Him, we lead a depressed life and we're not satisfied. So this is the covenant agreement with Allah. Remember when your Lord brought forth from the children of Adam, from Adam's loin, and made them testify as to themselves, saying, am I not your Lord? They said, yes, we testify. Adam's progeny declared, our Lord, we bear witness. You are our Lord. We have no other Lord but Allah. This is the covenant, the agreement that we all took with Allah. We've got so many hadiths on this. And when your Lord brought forth from the loins of the children of Adam their offspring and made them bear witness about themselves, am I not your Lord? They replied, yes, indeed. Okay. Now, when we are born, what happens to us? What does Shaitan make us do?
Cry.
Yes, and he makes us forget that covenant. He makes us forget that promise. Now, did you know reverts? They remember they made that covenant. And this is why they're called reverts and not converts. Why do we not call people who convert to Islam converts? We call them reverts. Why? Alex, do you know?
I know the answer.
I know the answer.
Go on then, Amanda.
We're born Muslim.
Yes, we're born Muslim, so we prostrate to Allah, okay? And then we forget. So when we become Muslims, we are reverting back to what we were in the first place. That's why we are reverts, not converts. Yes? Okay? So a revert is very lucky because they somehow remember, oh yeah, we remember, we made that covenant to Allah and that is our original religion. Let's go back to it. Okay? So when we remember Allah, it says, verily in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Or verily in the remembrance of Allah are hearts satisfied. Okay? There is a void in our heart unless we remember Allah, and that void then is fulfilled. Okay? And if we do not fill up that void with Allah, we will fulfill it with other haram things like drugs, or drinking, or alcohol, or smoking, or cigarettes. And this happens so much, does it not, in the world? People are depressed, they turn to drugs because there's a void that isn't being filled. Okay? So this is the other one I was talking about. Whoever turns away from my remembrance, indeed, he will have a depressed life. Okay? And what we mean by that is he'll never be happy. Okay? There are journals to prove when you pray to Allah, you are more satisfied, you are less depressed. There's journals to prove that other things like money, houses, they don't give you happiness. There's an English saying that money, the love of money is the root of all evil because you turn to bad. It doesn't satisfy you. Money does not buy happiness, does it? Yes, everybody knows about that saying. So this is what we mean. So as-samad, if you pray to Allah, who is al-ahad, then as-samad satisfies you. He satisfies your cravings, your voids in your heart, the voids in your life. Okay? Right. let us now look at the video.
Allah is called As-Samad. The word Samad comes from the root letters Sad, Mim, Dal, and could have many meanings. One of the meanings of Samad is something not hollow, not empty, something full, something solid. As-Samad means he is not empty and not hollow. He is always full, full of blessings, full of mercy, full of majesty, and never empty. This means Allah is perfect with no deficiency and not in need. Out of this definition, we will be able to understand all the other meanings when applied to Allah as Samad. 1. One other meaning of Samad is to direct oneself towards someone. And why do we go to someone? Because you are in need of them. Why do you need them? Because they can fulfill your needs. They become your master, the one you turn to. So, Allah as Samad in this definition would mean Allah is the master who we depend on because he has no deficiency and he is not in need. When he gives out of his blessings, it never goes empty. It never becomes hollow. It is always full. 2. Samad also means one who does not need anything. Allah as Samad is one who is needless and independent because he is never empty or deficient in any way. He is needless. 3. Samad also means everlasting and eternal. Allah as Samad is one who is everlasting and eternal because one who is not hollow means he is not in need. And if you are not in need, you will be able to live forever. Imam Muhammad al-Baqir alayhi salam is reported to have said, As-Samad is everlasting and will never have an end. The Holy Quran says, Qul huwa Allahu ahad. Say, He is Allah, one and unique. Allahu Samad. Allah is the one who is needless, free from any faults, the one we depend on. How should we live by this name? 1. Realize that you are in need of Allah. One of the meanings of As-Samad is that Allah is needless and independent. We rely on things like air, water, and food to survive. Yet we often act as if we don't need anyone's help. Especially when times are good, we forget our dependence on As-Samad for even the smallest things. So, it's important to remind ourselves every day that we depend on Him.
Because Allah gives us everything, we can only be satisfied by worshipping Him alone, because He's the one who's going to give us everything, the wealth and the food and the protection and the guidance and everything. Okay, does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, right. The next bit is, how can we implement that name into our lives? Can we copy that name? Or can we do something to keep us satisfied? There's
I
your
incorporated in my salah.
What's that? Oh, there's the surah.
Yeah.
Yes, so we can recite that surah, which is all in one. Yes? Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad, both names together. Yeah? So Allah is one, He's the satisfier. Good. Anything else we can do to satisfy ourselves? How can we fill up that void in our hearts? What did I say? Truly in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. How can we remember Allah?
Always reading the Quran and doing your prayers.
Yep, reading the Quran and prayers is the answer I'm looking for. How do we remember Allah? By doing our 5 times prayers. That's why we do them, don't we? Yes, to remember Allah. How do we live by this name? Rely and depend on As-Samad only and turn to Him in times of hardship and easy. Rest assumed that only He can satisfy your needs and not necessarily as you might imagine. So pray to Him alone to satisfy your voids, and you can recite Al-Ikhlas, in which As-Samad is mentioned with understanding and love. And if you incorporate that into your salah, you're doing an all-in-one special, aren't you? You're praying as well as reading the surah as well. Okay? What else can we do? Now, with other people? Can we satisfy them? There's your clue. Can we satisfy other people?
Is it just to be kind, like you would be?
Yes. So if they need help, you can help them, can you not? Okay, say they need food. Can you, as a person, give them food?
Yes.
Yes, homeless, feed the homeless. That's satisfying somebody's needs. If somebody needs money, we give zakat. That's satisfying somebody's need for money. Okay? If someone needs protection, you can help them. Okay? And doctors is just one example. They help you, but any kind of thing that you can think of where you help somebody. Okay? Counselors, they dry up people's tears, do they not? And help them in their problems. All of that is satisfying a void that somebody may have. Okay? There may be somebody who doesn't have any clothes, and you can satisfy them by giving them clothes. So obviously at a much lower level than Allah does, because we can't see Allah, but we can help in this world other people, satisfy them. Okay?
Support people when they're on their deen.
Yes, you can help them while they're on their deen. You can help a revert. Yes, dawah is actually helping people to find the right way and returning to their religion and things like that. There is so many things. It's endless, really. I'm sure you've got the gist of things, okay? And I've got a playlist called Allah's Names, and the playlist on my YouTube channel has got all of Allah's 99 names on there, because I've done this before, but also the new ones that I'm uploading. And today's one actually went with the previous two names, so they are all in order, which was Al-Wahid and Al-Ahad. Okay, right, let us now do some questions. There you all are.
Is it true that Surah Ikhlas is a quarter of the Quran?
Yes, yes, it is. It's the third of the Quran, because the whole Quran is about pray to one Allah. He's only one. He's not begotten. He doesn't have a son. He doesn't have a father. That's the whole of the religion is about Tawheed, isn't it? Which is the oneness of Allah. And this is why it's a very, very powerful surah in the Quran. This is why it's used against black magic and things like that as well, because shaitans run away the moment you tell them there's one God, because they want you to do shirk, don't they? They want you to worship more than one God in all different ways that you can get. So that's very important.
Now, this surah has a special meaning for me.
Yes.
Because it's a very important thing that happened to me while I was in Israel, well, Palestine, sorry. I went on a spiritual journey to the Holy Land, and while we were in Palestine, there was a trip there. I took a coach trip, and the Israelis were really out and about that day, checking everyone. Anyway, me and my sister end up in the holy, the square. What's it called again?
The Wailing Wall.
The Wailing Wall, yes. So I was watching what people were doing, because this was all new to me. And people were writing little notes and sticking in the cracks. And I watched them, and then as they pushed their own, someone else's fell down, and I was looking all these little bits of paper on the floor.
Yes.
And while I was there, I said, as this is such a holy place, maybe I can make a dua. So my sister disappeared and I was on my own. And I started to read Ayat al-Kursi, and then all I got to was Allahu. And I couldn't remember a single word.
Right.
And I knew this surah since I was a child. And I couldn't get past Allahu. And I kept trying and trying. I said, what's going on? And I'm looking around and I couldn't understand what was happening. All I got was Allahu. And then I decided, well, in that moment, if I can't say Allahu, I'll say Surah Ikhlas.
Right.
And it came to me and I said it. And it didn't realize the significance of why I was able to say that until I got back home
Yes.
to London and read the meaning.
Yes. Yes.
And that meaning is so apt for that area because it's full of black magic
Yes.
and bad
Correct.
things.
Correct.
And when I read the surah, because a sheikh told me, the one that took me to Umrah, he said, if you had read Surah Ayatul Kursi, something terrible might have happened because it's such a powerful surah.
Mm.
But he said, did you read Fajr that day? And I said, I probably didn't.
Mm. Mm.
So he said, when you read Fajr in the morning, it protects you. And you were not protected at that time.
Yes. Yes.
So
Probably.
when I read the meaning of the English meaning of that surah,
Mm.
Allah is the one, the only one. He begets no one, nor is he begotten.
Yes. So I'll tell you why as well. Something else I can add on to that. So you know those little pieces of paper they put in the wall, those are prayers.
Yeah, I realized that.
Yeah. Now they're actually praying to the Wailing Wall. Do you understand? They're not really praying to Allah, they're praying to the Wailing Wall. They're putting those prayers in the little gaps. So when you recited your surah, you are saying there's only one God. Yeah? You were breaking that shirk there that was going on about worshipping that wall and putting the prayers in the little gaps. So you were basically breaking what they were doing, you see. There's only one.
And then when I left that area and we're back on the coach, I was telling my sister what happened. And then I was able to recite Ayatul Kursi. It just came.
Yes.
So it's that area that caused that.
Yes, 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 yes.
The witchcraft and the black magic that goes on there.
Yes, yes, because that is all where the jinns and stuff, you know, because of all that Solomon's temple, and they say that the sorcery books are under that wall, apparently. I think when we did Prophet Solomon's lecture, we talked about the books of sorcery, which are hidden under that throne. And apparently they believe, the Jews believe, that it's built under that. It's under
You
that.
know, that incident troubled me for many years. I couldn't get past it until the sheikh that took me to Umrah explained to me.
Yes, yes.
And then I felt satisfied. I asked many people, but whatever they were saying, one Ustadah said, well, sister, if all you were left with is Surah Ikhlas, be grateful for that.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding is that is a very powerful surah. There's only one God, and you were breaking the shirk that was going on in that area where they were praying to the Wailing Wall and putting in prayers to the Wailing Wall. But you sort of was saying there's only one God, pray to him, basically. But also the black magic. Don't forget, Surah Ikhlas is one of the 3 guls which break black magic, don't they? Get rid of jinns and shaitans and things.
Yes.
But don't forget, shaitan makes you forget, doesn't he? Shaitan makes you forget. But you remembered that very main surah which Allah put in your mind, really.
Yeah, because Allah took that Surah Ayatul Kursi from me, because that's the only way I can see that. He took that from me and gave me Surah Ikhlas.
Yes, that's right. Okay, very interesting. Has anybody got any other comments or any other questions they'd like to ask about satisfaction? All the people who've got mental health problems are not satisfied, are they, with life? They're not happy. They're not satisfied. Look at all those millionaires who have so much money and they're not happy. And they commit suicide. Think of all of those pop stars. I can name so many who are not happy. And they always die horrible deaths, don't they?
The people who are very ill, and no matter how much money they have, they can't get the cure or fix their health.
Yes.
Because their mind is not good. Their mind is not satisfied.
Yes. If you're satisfied, then you're not after worldly things.
Yeah.
If you're happy with what you've got, you don't hoard things, you don't overspend, because, you know, in the end, you're going to leave everything here anyway, aren't you? Nothing is going up with you, only your good deeds. So if you're satisfied with your life, you don't do any of that. You don't have any addictions and things because you're happy with your life. So it's a very big thing, and it's sad when it's missing really in somebody. Okay, and if there's no more questions, we'll finish off. So Fasila, did you want to just finish off and say goodbye?
Yes. That was very interesting. I know we only did one today, but it's quite a big name and the meaning and everything. Thank you for doing that today. And Jazakallah to everyone for attending.
Thank you very much, everybody, especially Alex, who tuned in all the way from Abu Dhabi.
Very nice as always.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, then. See you all next time.
Yeah, inshallah.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Bye.
Assalamu alaikum.
Bye.